program in the history of long distance.
Coming up next on News Channel 2 Nightside, calm returns to Denton, Maryland tonight as the state investigates charges of police brutality. We'll have the latest. And we'll show you why some Baltimore residents are calling for help to head off an invasion of rats.
Dozens of people have their heads spinning tonight after a special wedding ceremony. And David Letterman says good night to late night on NBC. Good evening, everybody. I'm Stan Stovall.
And I'm Mary Beth Marsden. Those stories, Norm's forecast, and Keith with sports, next on Nightside.
From News Channel 2, friends you can turn to. Stan Stovall, Mary Beth Marsden, meteorologist Norm Lewis, and sports with Scott Garceau. This is News Channel 2 Nightside.
All is quiet in the eastern shore town of Denton, Maryland tonight as state police get ready to begin an investigation.
An investigation into another incident that some residents blame on the actions of town police. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mary Beth Marsden.
And I'm Stan Stovall. It all started about 24 hours ago when police moved into a housing complex to arrest a 17-year-old who they believe was involved in drug activity. Police say the teenager resisted arrest, but several witnesses insist the police manhandled the youth with excessive force, sparking a violent confrontation. News Channel 2's Mark Verderelli reports from Denton.
At daybreak, Denton was still under a mayor-imposed state of emergency, but the Riverview Gardens housing area was quiet by then. The remnants of property damage and arson yet to be cleaned up. Residents spent the morning trying to decide whether the commotion had more to do with racism or just bad attitudes on the parts of some police officers and residents.
It's not a racial thing at all. I don't think it's racial. But all I say is bad that we or anybody else got to live out here and look at this mess happen like this.
By afternoon, Governor Schaefer had hit town.
Where are we going now? This way? Yeah, follow us.
By late afternoon, the teenager who police say started the whole ordeal by resisting arrest was still in custody. As the sun sets on this small community tonight, folks here hope it will soon return to the quiet town it almost always is. But Denton is not likely to be out of the spotlight anytime soon. Governor Schaefer this evening said he will bring his entire cabinet here next week. In the meantime, though, folks who live here are bound and determined to put this incident behind them, learn from it, and expect better times.
Everybody's happy. I mean, you don't see nobody's hurt, and we thank the Lord for that, that didn't nobody really seriously get hurt, but that it's just going on. We gotta leave it in the Lord's hands.
In darkness, a few state police troopers walk through the area, but all is quiet, and all here are hoping that's how it stays. Mark Verderelli, News Channel 2 Nightside, Denton.
Mark tells us that one of the two Denton officers involved in last night's incident has been placed on administrative leave with pay until the investigation is complete.
The rats are rampant in a West Baltimore neighborhood tonight. They live in a vacant house on Division Street, and neighbors would like to see them evicted permanently. Nightside's Brad Ganson went out on rat patrol.
You can see them going in and out of their hole, a little cutout at the bottom of the board there. Cyrus Nelson saw several just the other night. Even saw one jump on a little girl.
And this one rat just squealed and leaped in the air and landed on this girl's dress. And she been fighting him down, saying, "Get off me, get off me, get off me." And she ran all the way up towards Front Street before she got him off of her. And I haven't seen the girl since. But they was over here like rabbits in a patch all through there.
Barbara Stokes has called everybody she can think of without success.
No one has ever returned my call. I called the mayor's office day before yesterday. No response to anyone.
Folks who lived in this neighborhood a long time said they can't remember anybody ever living in this house. One woman who says she's been here 17 years says nobody's lived here since she's been in the neighborhood. The next door neighbor thinks the house belongs to the city, but nobody here is sure. Brad Ganson, News Channel 2 Nightside, West Baltimore.
And Brad says the vacant house on Division Street isn't the only place with a rat problem. Others who live in the area told Brad about rat problems in their alleys.
Well, there's more bad news tonight for embattled Baltimore County School Superintendent Dr. Stuart Berger. Earlier this week, Berger and the rest of the county school board sat through a long night of criticism from angry teachers and parents. They are upset with Berger and his policies. Now, tomorrow, several Baltimore County branches of the NAACP will hold a press conference to demand Berger's resignation. NAACP officials will not tell us why they're making this demand tonight. But earlier this week, another Baltimore County group, the Coalition of Concerned African American Organizations, announced its support for Berger. Communities across the country held their breath today, waiting for good or bad news from the Military Base Closing Commission. The commission voted on Navy facilities today, closing several but sparing others, including the Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia. At least one Maryland facility could be on the chopping block when the commission meets again on Sunday. Workers at the Surface Warfare Center in Annapolis say they're expecting the worst.
Done a lot of good work for the Navy over the years, and I think it'd be a shame to close it.
I'm sad about losing the Annapolis site closing and all that, but I'm afraid it's sort of a done deal.
Yes, I'm still young. I can probably look elsewhere, but jobs are hard to come by nowadays.
The center tests Navy ships and weapons in underwater simulators, and if Congress does close the center, it won't actually shut it down for at least 3 or 4 years.
President Clinton finally got to make a special phone call today, a call to a man who says he's the president's long-lost half-brother. White House officials say the president and 55-year-old Henry Ritzenthaler talked for about 15 minutes and had a warm conversation. They reportedly talked about a family history of heart trouble and agreed to get together sometime. The White House wouldn't release any more details, but Ritzenthaler says he was honored by the phone call. And while Mr. Clinton never said he believed the two men were half-brothers, Ritzenthaler thinks the president believes him. Some Baltimore area youngsters got an idea what it's like to be president today, and they have finger blisters to prove it. They go to a federally subsidized summer camp at Morgan State, but spent today at the White House. The 13 campers were invited to help open President Clinton's mail, and there's plenty of it to go around. President Clinton is receiving more mail than any other president, more than 30,000 letters every day. The kids had hoped to see Mr. Clinton, but didn't get the chance.
But they did get a chance to touch his mail.
Yes, they did. Lots of it.
All right, time to check in with meteorologist Norm Lewis and find out what's going on outside right now. Norm?
I'll tell you what, we do have a gorgeous evening going on outside right now. The temperature 69 degrees, humidity a little high, 74%, but it sure doesn't feel like it with that nice breeze from the south-southwest at 6 miles an hour. Some nice weather on tap for the next couple of days. We'll talk about it in just a couple of minutes. Stan?
All right, Norm, thank you. But first, doctors have come up with yet another medical miracle by using lasers in the womb of pregnant women. And we'll also take you for an evening stroll in space.
And the FBI searches for a letter bomber who's possibly been attacking people for the past 15 years.
This portion of News Channel 2 is brought to you by Lexus, the relentless pursuit of perfection.
The new Lexus GS Luxury Performance Sedan. It not only corners better than the BMW 540i, but it rides smoother. Of course, if you still insist on feeling every pebble in the road, be our guest. See the GS at Jack Brown's Lexus of Annapolis and Lynn Stoller Lexus in Owings Mills. The price is within reach, too.
Play and hoop it up, the NBA's official 3-on-3 tournament, presented by News Channel 2 and The Sun. Call now. Each player gets a free t-shirt and free bullet tickets. With separate youth, teenage, and adult divisions, you play against teams your own age and height. Call now or get entry forms in Monday Sun at Isuzu dealers, Farm Fresh, Rudo Sports, Royal Farm Stores, or Highs. Hoop it up. Brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft Light, B103, the Radisson Plaza, Lord Baltimore, WGRX, and News Channel 2.
The dates going on now. The event, Mattress Discounters Gigantic Price Crushing July 4th Sale. All our mattress sets are on sale, including our lowest price ever on Beauty Rest, with prices starting from an incredible $288 for a queen-size set. Get a free Harvard bed frame plus free delivery on Beauty Rest or King Coil Posture Bond mattress sets. There's also free setup and removal of your old bed with delivery. Prices start from just $23.
Have a good night's sleep on us. Mattress Discounters.
You owe it to yourself to put Jerry's on your shopping list when you intend to buy a new or used car or truck. We maintain a complete selection of all models by stocking one of the largest car and truck inventories anywhere. At Jerry's, we have one objective. That is to make you the very best deal possible and give you the best service you can get anywhere so that you'll want to do business with Jerry's again, again, and again. Try us. Make Jerry's a must-stop. Compare all you care to, but for the best deal anywhere, you just got to come to Jerry's Chevrolet Geo.
The American Friends Service Committee is sponsoring its annual Arts and Peace Festival tomorrow at the Friends School. Call 323-7200.
Investigators have now linked 2 mail bombings this week to a series of mail bombs dating back to 1978. The attacks, 14 in all, have all occurred at either universities or high-tech companies. This week, mail bombs injured a computer scientist at Yale and a geneticist at the University of California, San Francisco. Both victims remain hospitalized. Who is sending the bombs and why is unknown.
Meanwhile, tonight, the president's deficit reduction plan is now in the hands of a conference committee. President Clinton predicts the conference participants will produce a bill that's superior to both the House and Senate versions. The House bill contains a broad neonatal intensive care unit return to visit with the doctors and nurses who cared for them. There are more than 700 babies in this year's class, and they come from Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. The class also includes 12 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets.
Won't be long now. In just about an hour, David Letterman's final show will air on NBC. As you could hear, the audience was with Letterman all the way when his show was taped earlier today, and as expected, Letterman couldn't resist a few digs at the Peacock network.
Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking at a very excited, very happy man. Listen to this. Earlier today, for the first time, NBC named me Employee of the Month.
Letterman has been with NBC for 11 years, and on a fishing trip in Central Park with Tom Brokaw, Letterman said there's a lot more comedy these days, and not all of it's funny.
I have to be careful when I start talking like this because I can kind of hear my dad talking.
Oh, that ain't funny. What the hell? Anybody can do that. It's not the way he dropped his pants. Who cares? I can drop my pants. They don't give me $1 million.
The vast global
Letterman starts a new show on CBS this fall, getting $42 million for his services. And of course, Conan O'Brien will take over the late night spot on NBC.
Gonna miss him.
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to watch the other stations. That's why we won't have a chance to watch that. Just kidding.
We might sneak a peek.
That's all for us on Nightside. For the latest news, weather, and sports all weekend long, stay tuned to News Channel 2.
And we'll see you again on Monday on News Channel 2 at 5. Have a great weekend. Good night.
If you see news in the making, call the News Channel 2 tip line by dialing 435-TIPS or call free of charge *1TV2 on your Cellular One car phone.
Buy the 72-quart Igloo cooler below store cost, only $29.99 with any purchase during the Real Deal sale now at Value City Furniture.
In the past year, Mercury Sable wagon sales are up 37% in Washington, outselling Volvo and Camry. It's the only one with standard dual airbags and available anti-lock brakes. No wonder everyone is jumping on the wagon. And with a lease price of just $299 a month for only 24 months, you can drive a new Sable every 2 years and take advantage of everything that makes Sable so popular. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer for a better buying experience.
Nature can be devastating to wood. All-purpose water sealer's waterproof. So does Olympic WaterGuard for wood. But only Olympic has sunblock protection to fight sun damage, plus resists mildew, and has penetrating linseed oil to strengthen wood fibers. Olympic WaterGuard with 4-way wood protection, because wood needs more than an all-purpose water sealer.
When you're looking for the right car, you don't want to leave anything to chance. And Mazda has a full family of performance cars, like the Miata, the RX-7, the MX-6, and the outstanding MX-3. It's our hot-looking sports coupe with one of the best warranties in its class. And now you can buy one starting as low as $12,095. That way, everyone goes home a winner. Mazda, it just feels right.
The Lady Avia 5K Classic, July 18th at Rash Field. Call 666-1840.